One of the questions I always get asked, or one of the questions that always bothered me, is why is there no record when I was, younger, was why is there no record of Abraham going to Mecca and building the Kaaba? Why does the Old Testament not record that? Well, there's two responses to this, and one is that, or there's two responses that, I think work here, is that first of all, the evidence for Abraham is very, very bad. I mean, there's no evidence for Abraham's existence outside the Bible, outside the Old Testament. So what that means is that there's that the evidence for, these Old Testament figures is very is like next to nothing. There's like no evidence that Abraham, Moses existed outside of the Old Testament. So what that means is that not everything about Abraham was possibly recorded in the Old Testament. So it's possible that Abraham left the north, left the Palestinian area, went to Mecca, built the Kaaba, and traveled back north to Palestine. But for some reason, whoever wrote the book of Genesis did not know about this. The book of Genesis, according to Christian scholars, is written by an anonymous author living thousands of years after Moses allegedly lived in, you know, in Babylon, possibly in Babylon, or away from where Abraham was, which was in Palestine in Abraham's later years. So, it's possible that Abraham did go to Mecca, but whoever wrote the Old Testament didn't know about it. And this tradition of Abraham going to Mecca and building the Kaaba with Ishmael was preserved by the children of Ishmael. They remembered their fathers, Abraham and Ishmael, building the Kaaba. If you read Ibn Ishaq's book, Ibn Ishaq on pages 36 to 30, 35 to 36, he records, the Arab belief or the Arab tradition that Abraham and Ishmael did indeed build the Kaaba, and this was a pre-Islamic belief. This belief wasn't invented by Islam; it actually predates Islam by the preservation of the traditions of the Arabs. So, that's just my 2 cents. But I wouldn't be too bothered by the Old Testament not mentioning anything about the Kaaba or Mecca or etc. Because it's possible that whoever wrote the book of Genesis just didn't know about Abraham going to Mecca and building the Kaaba, and this tradition was preserved by the Ishmaelites later on.